So I guess it's that time again that we meet. So shalom. Last time we met, I set the intention for this series to understand and learn our true value. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. But before we even get there, I want to be clear about the kind of space we're creating together. This is a space for the conversations that usually happen too late. The ones that come after we've already reacted, after we've already performed, or after we've already gotten ourselves hurt. Yes, I said ourselves. That part is important because it brings us to accountability. Before anyone tenses up, let me be upfront and say this. Accountability is not the same as blame. And it's definitely not about minimizing real pain, excusing what others have done to us. Before we talk about value, we have to understand the importance of accountability, personal accountability to be exact. A lot of times when we react, perform, or end up hurt, it's because we place ourselves in those situations. Relax. Don't get all tight-jawed on me just yet. Let me be clear with you. This isn't always a bad thing. And it also doesn't mean that we deserve what happened to us or that we should have known better. It just means we're human. Sometimes we need to experience certain things for the lesson that the Most High, Yahuwah, is trying to teach us. As humans, there are moments where the lesson just doesn't stick unless we walk through it the hard way. It doesn't mean you failed. It shows you're learning. Last time we talked, I shared my observations of how many of us were taught directly and indirectly that our worth needed confirmation or approval from others. So this time, let me give you some examples and what they taught us. So we can start in school. When we got good grades, that equaled intelligence. Those kids who complied were labeled as easy. But see, the kids who questioned things or embraced who they were just a little too much were labeled as difficult. This gives us that false impression that our worth is measurable, that is comparative, that it can be earned or even taken away. Let's talk about family. Even with family, see, I don't know about yours, but I definitely have some relatives where if they don't get what they want, they're quick to say, after all I've done for you, or what about this? Why can't you be more like so-and-so? And without anyone ever saying it outright, we learn the lesson of belonging is something you earn by managing other people's emotions, by shrinking, people pleasing, and performing. When this is all you know, it makes sense. It makes sense that you move through the world trying to earn your place. Now, this one's a little heavy for me because it's very personal. Before I started this journey of self-discovery, you could not tell me that being chosen didn't equal being worthy. Staying longer than I should have, that felt like loyalty. Over-explaining, that felt like proving my value. Enduring things I should have walked away from, honestly, that felt like love. Because if someone wants me, if they just choose me, then I might be valuable, right? Well, shoot. That's what I believed back then. With the tools and understanding I had at that time, hey, I mean, work taught us the same thing now that I'm thinking about it. They literally ask us in interviews, what value do you bring to the company? Promotions, performance reviews. I mean, and for my work from home girlies, you already know KPIs define your success. Burnout gets praised as dedication. And why wouldn't it? After all, I am what I produce. I am what I contribute and deliver. Let's bring it even closer to home, right? I'm talking internally. At least once in our lives, many of us had to become the strong one because weakness wasn't safe. Vulnerability wasn't an option. So we adapted. We survived. And survival was necessary. It kept us going. Somewhere along that way, We learned that our worth was tied to our survival value. How much we could carry, how much we could endure, how much could I handle without falling apart. And hear me when I say this. None of that made us wrong. It made us resourceful. It made us resilient. It made us survive. But see, look, survival was never meant to be the measure of our worth. Because if value only exists when we perform for others, then when I decide to rest, that would mean I was worthless. And simply being would never feel like enough. And that's where we start to untangle this. Because our value didn't start when I became useful. It didn't increase when I was chosen. And it doesn't disappear when we stop performing. Our value exists before all of that. So I'm gonna leave you with 2 questions. One for you, and I mean just for you. And one if you feel led to share with others. The first question I had to ask myself is, where in my life have I confused pushing through with worth? And honestly, what has that cost me? And like I said, if you feel led to share, I would love to hear what's one belief about your worth that you're starting to question or unlearn. But for that first one, I want you to take your time. Journal it. Sit with it. Let yourself be honest. And if you choose to share the second one, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. But remember, this isn't about getting it right. It's about waking up to your value. One honest reflection at a time. Take what resonates, leave the rest, and be gentle with yourself along the way. Shalom.